Manchester United is playing Melbourne Victory tomorrow down in Australia there for you, and we are here to bring you really what all this game is going to be about in here onto this channel, which goes by names of United Matters channel. We are here to bring you the predicted lineups, the preview, and what the manager really said, and we're really going to benchmark our predicted lineups and preview on what the manager really said in the press conference that they really held today. If at all you missed out on the press conference, it's there onto the videos. Go on to our video section. The video is already there and the manager is already there talking in there for you about what the game is going to be like in there for you. He's expecting lots of changes in there for you, and we're having returnees that really missed out on the game of Liverpool that are really going to be part of this game of football of United versus the side which goes by names of Melbourne Victory in there for you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends where you're watching us from. Smash the like button, comment and share, and if you're really watching us for the very first time, endeavor to go in the right bottom corner and smash the subscription button. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that enable you get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel in there for you. Melbourne Victory is down in Australia, and in the same country is where United is going to play more 2 games against Aston Villa and the side which goes by the names of Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is going to be on Tuesday, and then I think on the weekend we are playing Aston Villa. Then we fly to Norway to play a side which goes by the names of Atletico Madrid. Then later our last game is going to be against Rayo Vallecano at Old Trafford. That's going to be the first game of Erik ten Hag in front of 70 plus fans of Manchester United, full of Old Trafford in there for you. So here at United Matters channel, we promise you that we are trying to give you the best coverage of this preseason. I think you guys are really enjoying it, and Melbourne Victory versus United is what we are here to digest into full swing in there for you. One thing to note about Harry Maguire is returning. He never really appeared onto the lineup or in the squad when United was beating Liverpool. Then the player that is returning is James Garner. I saw him in training. Hannibal is back in there for you. So I think those are some of the notables that are really returning in there for you, that are really going to come back into the starting midfield in there for you. The manager really had lots of players to give to praise in there for you. Sancho, Rashford, and very many others in there for you. But we expect a changed starting 11, though he's really going to keep most of the players that started into the starting 11 of a team which goes by names of United, as we play the side which goes by names of Liverpool. There's some changes that we expect this manager to go on and really change to see how these players are really going to fit in there for you. So without further ado, allow me to take you straight into our predicted lineups in there for you, because this is why you guys are here in there for you. That is the pitch well demarcated. Now let's get into who is starting in goal. Obviously, David De Gea getting close to 4 saves against Liverpool. Very close in there for you. He helped us a lot, and I believe that he's going to start in goal in there for you. And for your information, just know that the manager is going to field 2 teams. The manager is fielding 2 teams into this game of football, and the first team is going to play, I think, for 45 minutes. I don't think he'll go the Liverpool way to bring in very many players. Like, you play for 30 minutes, then it takes you off. But this time round, I really believe he's really going to get in some players to play close to 60 minutes. 60 or 70, then he will start making substitutions at around half time for players like Harry Maguire, because Harry Maguire is said to be going to play 45 minutes only because he never played that game of Liverpool. You get so? I think in the other game, if at all he starts, that's when he will go ahead to play more and more minutes in there for you. But David De Gea is really going to go ahead and do the needful in there for United to start in goal. Obviously, he's the first choice goalkeeper of Manchester United in there for you, and no one's really going to pull him out of that in there. We go to the right back. Diego Dalot, to me, really had a very good game, but we lack that drive from the midfield that is really going to see our fullbacks really enjoy the game of football. Most of the balls that you see the fullbacks really go ahead and overlap are the ones that really start those runs. But you want to see that run like that of Diego Dalot when he really hit the frame of the goal that was built from Luke Shaw. Then he really played a long ball find Sancho. Then Dalot overtook Luke Shaw, overtook Sancho, and Sancho played him in. And when played him in, instead of really crossing that ball into the 6 yards area of Liverpool, he really went for a shot that hit the frame of goal. So one such movements a lot in there for you. So I expect a player to be by the names of Dalot to start in the right side in there for you. Though rumors are still going on that United is looking for right back. Rumor is going on that United is really looking for right back. Let's wait and see what is really going to come out of those rumors in the way. But Diego Dalot, I hope, is going to start in the right back position of United. Obviously, Rafael Varane is one of the senior players that we have at Manchester United, very experienced. And when you have him at your team, there is no way you really start any other defender at United because he's fully fit. When he's fully fit, he starts ahead of any defender at Manchester United. He has seen every situation in this World Cup, the Champions League. He has won almost every trophy in the modern game of football. So that is Rafael Varane. He played very well in the game of Liverpool. That's why I really bring him in here to start onto the right side of the central defense as we play a side which goes by the names of Melbourne Victory in there for you. Then on the left side of the central defense, I really believe that his return grants him a start immediately into the starting 11 of United, into that game. He doesn't even deserve to be on bench because the moment he really benches him and gives Bruno, the arm captain, to start, news will all go in there, say, all spreading that, oh, you see, Harry Maguire very much is captain, but the manager does not trust him to start. You get? So I really believe that if I told you a wise manager like Erik ten Hag to really play what we call a concept card to the media, what you do, you bring in Harry Maguire to play the first 45 minutes and then take him off. Remember, the manager said he's back from injury. He's just going to play 45 minutes in there for you and wait and see how he's really going to go on and partner with Rafael Varane into that central defense of United. In there, remember, you're playing a high line, and whenever you're playing a high line for Harry Maguire, he's exposed because he's as slow as a snail. He has a snail pace. That is Harry Maguire in there for you. So I expect him to start into that central defense of United alongside Rafael Varane in there for you. We go to the left back. I expect Malacia to play as the left back of Manchester United into this one because in the other game, he played him into the second string side of United. Now, I think the manager wants to see how Malacia can play that left back when he's playing with or playing alongside the first choice players of United in there for you. So this is going to be very much fundamental for Malacia because we want to see how he expresses himself on the ball, how he defends more in there for you. Because the other game, it took him like 12 minutes to settle in because I think he was so much under pressure, and I think that was brought about by the level at which Liverpool had really gone ahead of United, because the players on the pitch by then, when he came on through, were so much at a higher level than those that he started in at Liverpool. So the manager wants to see when he's playing in my first string side, how does he really play? So I think Malacia is going to start onto the left back position of Manchester United into that game of Melbourne Victory. So expect to see an overlapping defender, a lot of energy, skilled, and really bringing those crosses. And he sometimes pulls the trigger in there. He pulls the trigger always. So let's wait and see what will happen when he really pulls the trigger to see to it that he really directs that ball on target, because he really has a hard shot on him in there for you. Malacia, ever smiling, very jolly lad coming in at United from Feyenoord. In there for you, expect him to play into the left back of United. So the back four is all about Diego Dello, Rafael Varane, Harry Maguire, and Malacia. Now, Freddie maintains his position. Remember, the system is 4-2-3-1. He maintains his position according to how he played against a side which goes by the names of Liverpool, and even scored that ding in there for you. I think he stays into there because we have no player to play into that position in there for you. So I believe he can get that ball from the back four, especially Melbourne Victory. It's not going to be a very hard side like Liverpool. We expect him to start into that position of United in there for you in a double midfield pivot. Alongside, this is what we think as the United Matters channel team, that he's going to play into that double midfield pivot alongside Danny Van Beek, because the manager has today told us that Danny Van Beek can play deep in the midfield and even as a central attack midfielder in there for you. But because you're having a central attack midfielder in the names of Bruno Fernandes, who has proven that he's trying to make very, very, very astronomical changes under the manager Erik ten Hag, I think he has to trust him and he has to trust him to really give him another game to see to it that if at all we really get in a player like Danny Van Beek to play deep and can get that ball from the back four and really pass it through the midfield in the central axis and reach the likes of Bruno at the forwards, how is Bruno going to play? Because we suffered a lot with Scott McTominay because you couldn't get that ball from the back four. That's it. So in such a system, when you play Freddie and Danny Van Beek, that means Freddie has to really play deep. He shouldn't make those runs a lot. He needs to give a shield to the back four such that Danny Van Beek gets in that ball and really passes through the central axis of the midfield and then gives it to the likes of Bruno. And I think he can do it. He can do it because right now we don't have a player who is going to come in and do that. So it's better to get in a Danny Van Beek to go in there for you, because Scott McTominay was really abysmal. In that game of Liverpool, he never impressed me a lot. He looked way below average. And I told you, if at all I were to do player ratings, I was going to give him 5 out of 10. Below average in there for you. That is Scott McTominay. I'm really pulling him out of my starting 11 tomorrow versus a team which goes by names of Melbourne Victory in Austria in there for you. Let's go to the central attacking midfield partner in the overall, Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, I saw lots of things change in the Bruno Fernandes game. Can you imagine that? I never saw Bruno pulling a trigger or taking a shot. Yet he was getting himself in positions where he would have really gone in for a shot, but he wouldn't. That means the manager told him that your role is to go ahead and get that ball to the center forwards. Your role is to give us dominance. Your role is to dedicate play where it's really going to go on. You should really get that ball, you should really get that game, and you should be the person to really give us direction and dimensions in this game. When you want to speed up, it's you to dictate the speed. When you want to slow down the speed, it's you. So go ahead and really don't make aimless passes. And Bruno really did it well. And every pass that he put up, it was on point. And he is really going to turn into a good player. And as I told you, every player who is talented at Manchester United right now is going to benefit a lot from the presence of Erik ten Hag, and you're going to see these players getting us more than what we expected, than what they were giving us previously, because they are now well coached by Erik ten Hag in there for you. Let's go to the left attacking side of the midfield, the left winger, Marcus Rashford, obviously coming in through. He never really impressed me, but at least I saw him dying for the club. Let's wait and see how he's going to play tomorrow, but I expect him to start onto the left side of the attacking midfield in there for you. But his selfishness and his mindset that he's really a very top player is really disturbing him, because a top player needs to be consistent. That is the first aspect that really makes you a top player. World class and top class, you must be consistent. Then Jadon Sancho, right attacking side of the midfield or the right wing in the field, one of my best performers on the field of play. Him, David De Gea, Lindelof, Varane, Eric Bay, and the player who goes by the names of Sancho Martial really performed very well. So I know he's going to retain this position, because this is where we got to know him about. The reason as to why United bought him is because he was a right winger, and us looking for right winger was a priority. And I really don't agree with the people who say that Sancho is good playing off the left. Yet we have very many players that play off the left. Then let's put him on the side where he used to play at Borussia Dortmund. I know he's good playing off the left, but even at the right, he plays in very well. He can cross that ball, because we've seen several people who play with a right foot playing onto the right side of that midfield, and they bring in crosses. You get Sancho's left foot is good. When he cuts inside, he can really lay in that ball or across that ball using his left foot. It has some good energy in it. It can even take a shot. So I really believe that Sancho is really going to go ahead and start into this game. Remember, he scored, and he would have really gotten himself to assist, because Rashford really missed out on that sitter. Then Diego Delo hit that ball in the frame of the goal. So he would have gotten himself what we call an assist, or to assist in there for you. Then leading the line obviously is Anthony Martial, man of the moment, who really pressed very well against a side which goes by names of Liverpool, and he really got himself the third goal for United. So to me, I really believe that this is going to be the starting 11 of United in the first half in there for you. But note that some players are really going to go on to play close to 60 minutes. But substitutions will kickstart off immediately in the first half. Like the people like Harry Maguire, who are playing their first game, they can't play beyond 45 minutes. The manager will take him off and bring in another player to go on and really play in the field. For Varane, he can go in and play some 50 minutes, and then they take him off and they bring him in. But we might see two different teams in two different halves. In the first half, we might see a different team, and in the second half, we can see a different team, because that's how we did it against Liverpool in there for you. Now, let's go and see the second team and how it's going to look under Erik ten Hag in there for you onto this channel. Again, it's the same system, 4-2-3-1 in there for you, and let's see how it's really going to stand in there for you. Tom Heaton In goal, obviously, we expect him to start in goal even there because he really came on and did good saves. He's comfortable on the ball. So we expect him to start in goal in there for you as the second choice goalkeeper for United. Aaron Wan-Bissaka will start on the right side, but I had thoughts that Layard would really be given a chance. No reason for Aaron Wan-Bissaka to be on this tour when we are not going to use him. He's not in the plans of Erik ten Hag because rumor has it that Erik ten Hag wants to sign a right back in the names of Dumfries from Inter Milan. So what is the use of really having him as a right back into your games of the preseason when you don't have any plans? Better throw him under the bus like how Conte did. Antonio Conte, the manager of Spurs, he really left close to 7 players and told them that you are not going with me on tour. Find your space elsewhere, but I no longer need you at Spurs. You get? That is a man who goes by the names of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But because he's there, I give him a spot either for you. Eric Bay, a man who played very well into that game of Liverpool, to me was my man of the match. Him and De Gea and Sancho, they played very well. My top 3 performers of the day. So I expect Harry Maguire to be taken off and Eric Bay will come in to play alongside this man who goes by the names of Victor Lindelof, the Swede captain, in there for you because he's really so good in there for you, and we can't wait to see that partnership in there for you because whoever you partner with, Eric Bay is the one who benefits because Eric Bay really gives you lots of things. He sacrifices himself for the hard tackles. He does the dirty work. Now Lindelof is going to be there to do the clean work only, and at least for Lindelof, he has some speed in him to go on and trace that ball when he is really beaten in there for you. Then I expect Luke Shaw to play as a left back into this team of Erik ten Hag, the second string side, because he played very well in the other team. Now, because they're testing Malacia in the first 11, then we have to see how Luke Shaw is going to come in and get the business done into this 11 in there for you. Then we go to the midfield. Scott McTominay, having been dropped from the first 11, I expect him to come into this 11 to go on and do the needful and play into the double midfield pivot of United as we play Melbourne Victory. Alongside, obviously, James Garner. James Garner was out of the other game that we played against a side which goes by the names of Liverpool. He never even made it. He never even made it to the squad. So I think his return, I saw him stretch. I think his return kicks out Zidane, Igbo, and Savage into the starting 11 in there for you. But you never know, the manager can really surprise you and really doesn't even feel Scott McTominay or James Garner. But I really believe that James Garner is a different level at which you can really, Zidane and Savage are. I think James Garner has played in the Championship. He has played in the FA Cup. He dominated the midfield of Arsenal. He has really led Nottingham to the Premier League. And I think the other players, however much they are good, James Garner is better right now, and so I really start him ahead of those with Scott McTominay into that midfield, with James Garner playing as a sitting midfielder and Scott McTominay doing a box-to-box role into that midfield in a double midfield pivot in there for you. Guess who is going to play into the central attack midfield? That is Hannibal. Hannibal is one of those players that we expected to go ahead and really make or convince Erik ten Hag to go in and really get into the first starting 11 of United in there for you. But let's wait and see whether tomorrow he really does. But I really give him a nod to start alongside any other United player in there for you that comes into the string side because he plays that role better than any of those in there for you. Then Amad Diallo, man responsible for the assist of the third goal, for the assist of the fourth goal, when Eric Bay made that run through the midfield, he got past Thiago Alcantara. Then he played through a player who goes by the names of Facundo Pest with 3 touches. He passed it to Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo cut inside and laid a simple pass to Facundo Pelestri, and Facundo laid it to the lower right bottom corner of a goal of Liverpool. Then later, they celebrated. Now I expect the manager to change Amad Diallo to play him onto the right attacking side of the midfield because that's where he really gets you what you want. That's where he really gets you to the levels that you want in there for you, and that's where he operates better. I think the manager got to know it when he really interchanged and Perez led the line, then he played on the left, on the right, and now that combination resulted into the fourth goal of United in there for you. So that is a man who goes by names of Amad Diallo. Then Anthony Elanga is going to go ahead and play off the left attacking side of the midfield or a left winger because he thrives better playing that side in there for you. Though Ralph Rangnick was playing him so much as a right winger, but I will believe that he thrives so much while playing onto that side of the right wing, of the left wing in there for you, because he cuts inside easily, and even taking off players is easy. Cut inside and then shoot. That is a man who goes by the names of Anthony Elanga in there for you. Then who's going to lead the line for United? Obviously, Facundo Pellistri. Because for Facundo, I remember when you're buying him, they told us that he can play as a right winger, left winger, and as a center forward. And I think he's really good at that. And he showed us that he can play as a center forward when he really made that run through the center, or he made it centrally and passed in Amad Diallo. Then Diallo passed him in through and he scored. He's a good finisher and he's good at that job in there for you. So to me, I will believe that that is going to be the second string side of United. Tom Heaton in goal, right back Alwan Bissaka, left back Luke Shaw, central defense Eric Bay and Lindelof, then James Garner and Scott McTominay in the midfield pivot. Hannibal in the central attack midfield role, playing behind the striker. Amad Diallo, right winger or a right attacking midfielder. Anthony Elanga, left attacking midfielder. And then Pellistri is going to lead the line. So your predictions are welcome into the comment section below. That's what I had for you in here for you. You can as well have your son to these teams. Who do you think should start into the first string side, and who should you think should start into the second string side in there for you? Because the game is tomorrow, and that was my preview in there for you. But I will believe to see United dominating this game. We're really going to be having a higher possession percentage than that of Liverpool that we had, because the game of Liverpool ended when we had 48% ball possession in there for you. So I expect us to really raise to at least 65 or 70, because I know that you're really going to pass that ball more and more often. I expect Danny Van Beek to play in the double midfield pivot alongside Freddie. Reason being, he should go in and get that ball from the back four and pass it through the central axis, because he has those abilities. I predict that United can go in for like a 4 or 5 goal win against a side which goes by the Melbourne, and Melbourne can threaten us. I know they can also score because they're going to be home. They're really going to be so much strong and having loads of energy. They are playing in the cricket arena in Melbourne, Australia, and that's where everything is going to take place in there. So I sign out for now. See you later. Your reactions are welcome to the comment section below. I go by the names of Rock and David. United Matters channel is the channel that you're watching in right about now in here onto this channel. I sign out for now. See you later. But the live stream is coming exactly at midnight. I'm out.